So, Nalyssa Smith. We just can't stop talking about Nalyssa Smith. And I cannot stress this enough. Like, I don't think that this is much to do with Nalyssa Smith. I think it is as much as anything to do with Dijonai. And I actually don't dislike Nalyssa Smith whatsoever. But for her own sake, for the sake of her own mental health, for everything, get her as far away from the fever as possible. Get her as far away from the Indiana fever as humanly possible. Like, I'm trying to think what's the furthest away from Indiana. Heck, ship her to Golden State. Ship her to Golden State. Is LA further away than Golden State from Indiana? I think it is. Ship her to the Spark. Ship her as far away. Heck, she's been already shipped to China. She's been shipped as far away. So it's like, it is just a messy situation. And for anyone being like, oh, but like that's just the way it is when say for example, the like depending on the relationship people have with certain people, like in all sports is messy. I'm sorry, like you're acting like it wouldn't have been messy. For example, if at the time Jamie Vardy and Wayne Rooney were both on the England team during the Wagatha Christie scenario, like you're acting like this isn't a common thing in sports. You're acting like some off the court issues between, like, in other sports we see like two people's wives having arguments with each other that doesn't negatively affect the team. It's just messy. It is. And now we're after seeing Dijonai Carrington joking. And by the way, and I cannot stress this enough, Dijonai Carrington is taking the piss out of Christine Brennan. She's taking the piss out of Christine Brennan. But the problem is, it's just messy. It's just messy. And that's the situation. A lot of people are like, oh, she's like joking about the situation. I'm sorry, I get it, she's joking about Christine Brennan, but it's still about a very real situation where, accidental or not, Dijonai Carrington eye-gouged Caitlin Clark. Like, I'm just saying, even unintentional, it's a flagrant 1, maybe flagrant 2. I'm sorry, even if it's accidental, it would be like one of the most accidental things. I will bring up someone that makes a career-ending tackle. Like Ryan Shawcross to Aaron Ramsey. He was out for years with a bad tackle. It would be like Ryan Shawcross laughing and joking about that when some people deemed it intentional. When it would distraught Ryan Shawcross. It was incredibly dangerous. Like, it's not something to laugh at. Even if it was a basketball play, even if it's not intentional, you just don't laugh about it. And like, even if it's about Christine Brennan, it's just a bad look. It's a bad look. And I'm sorry. You were a teammate of Caitlin Clark. And by the way, this is mostly on Dijonai. This is mostly on Dijonai. Nalyssa Smith is like, she's not saying anything. She's not even really entertaining what Dijonai's saying. The problem is that it's just everything around Nalyssa Smith is messy. Everything around her is messy. Her family, and by the way, her family are ride or die for her. I don't dislike her brother. But it's just the whole situation is messy because everyone in her life has Twitter fingers. I'm sorry, everything has Twitter fingers. And you might be saying it's like, the likes of myself talking about this is part of the problem. I agree. The problem is that people are more interested in them Twitter fingers than they are about the basketball.
Ow! Oh, I'm sorry.
Wait, why is nothing playing? Oh my god, is the sound gone on this video?
Ow! I'm sorry.
You guys can hear it. I do want to apologize for that. Sorry, I turned down the volume on my end, so I couldn't hear anything there.
Ow! Oh, I'm sorry. You poked me in the eye.
Like, you can even see Nalyssa Smith during that. She's like, she throws her arms and she's like, come on. Like, obviously, in a little bit of a, not like a negative way, but it's like, you can see she does not want to entertain this. Because Nalyssa Smith's hand obviously goes nowhere near Dijonai. Like, her hand goes nowhere near Dijonai there.
Ow! Oh, I'm sorry. You poked me in the eye. You're a troll. You did?
I did not poke you.
Did you do it on purpose?
I did not poke you.
Like, her being like, did you do it on purpose? Did you do it on purpose? You did poke me in the eye. And it's like, man, it's just a bad look. First of all, like, doing what Dijonai did is not, I get it, like, in making a joke about Christine Brennan, but you still gay hit someone with the Captain Insano. Even if it's unintentional, she still hit her with the Captain Insano. Like, I'm sorry, even if it is unintentional. And my theory is that I think she did not, like, it is too difficult to intentionally do that direct, to intentionally put your arm as a homing missile on someone's eye. I think she swiped through and with absolutely no regard for who or what she hit. I think she swiped through, and I've never seen somebody's hand go like that. I don't think she went for the eye. I think she swiped through, and it was one of those plays where it was like, if I hit her, I hit her. Where she had, the ball was gone. She made no attempt, for lack of a better word, she made no attempt to not hit Caitlin Clark. That is my theory, is that she swung in a way where she's like, if I hit her in the head, cool. If I don't hit her in the head, cool. And she just happened the worst possible outcome. Actually, you know what? The worst possible outcome could have been, like, with the way it could have been, she was a couple of inches away from doing some bad damage. But still, even if it was completely, like, unintentional, it's still not a good thing to joke about. Can we just come into reality? Like, I'm sorry. Even if it was completely unintentional, you don't joke about it. And the more you joke about it, the more it seems like it was intentional. I'm sorry. Like, it's just not a good look. If any, I'm sorry. Let me just say, I'm trying to think of, like, a basketball play that is, like, reckless but not intentional. Like, the Pat Bev Russell Westbrook. It would be like if Pat Bev, his best friend was, I don't know, not Kevin Durant, but let's say his best friend was James Harden. Or when they went and played together in Houston. And Pat Bev is openly joking about going at somebody's knees, or if Pat Bev is constantly, like, pretending to go at people's knees, like, just as, like, a joking way and laughing about it, when in reality is he tore Westbrook's meniscus. That would be a horrible look. And knowing Pat Bev, he probably did something like that, but there's a reason people don't like him. But, like, we have to at least talk about this. Like, we have to talk about the action. There's no point talking about it, and I'm sorry. You don't get an off just because it's the WNBA. If an NBA player did this shit, if a soccer player did this shit, it would be a horrible look. And again, the more time goes on, the more we see the reactions, the more it seems like the actions of someone who meant to do it. Or meant to do or not even meant to do it, that would have had no remorse had Caitlin Clark been taken out of that game with an eye injury. Where it's like, we've all played sports. If we accidentally hurt somebody, you still feel shit about it. Like, you do. Even if it's completely accidental. Just being a decent person, like, you still feel shit about it. We've all been there. We've all done it. We've all made a move, whether we've kind of accidentally undercut somebody or jumped in the air a little bit too late and caught somebody. Like, and if it ends up hurting them, you still feel bad about it. You don't joke about potentially injuring somebody with a reckless play. But Dijonai is doing that. So I'm sorry, Nalyssa. Just based on guilt by association, and by the way, just for your own basketball career, it's probably best to get as far away from Indiana as possible. There's no way for your own basketball career playing for Christy Side is going to do any help. But just for the messiness of the situation, we've seen in the WNBA, the messy teams are not the teams that have done anything. We saw the final is a Liberty versus the Lynx. The two least messy teams in the entire WNBA. Two teams that just go and play basketball. The Aces, messy, underperformed. The Phoenix Mercury, to an extent, messy, underperformed. Not all the teams. The Chicago Sky went to shit early, like late in the season. Like, it's bad. It is bad. But, yeah, that is. And by the way, I don't think Nalyssa Smith's a bad person. I like Nalyssa Smith herself. It's just for a team like the Fever that already has to deal with enough crap from the public, from the media, from social media, you can't have somebody that will create the story. The media are going to fabricate stories and run with it, And look, I'm not innocent in that. If you want to consider me part of the problem with it all, cool. I will say this, though. I am, if you want to look, if you go, in the scales, we've got, obviously your B and W sports, then them on one extreme, the other extreme, the ominous crowd person, and the NE with CM or CW. I'm just giving initials. There's obviously more extremes for either or. If you want to call me part of the problem, cool. But at the end of the day, if you don't feed the media, if you don't feed the trolls, if you don't give anyone something to actually talk about, then even if they start making stuff up, those stories aren't going to hit. But now, Nalyssa Smith has created the drama. She has been, and she's not necessarily created the drama. Her girlfriend's created the drama. And unfortunately, Nalyssa Smith is on the same team, so it just is not. It's just, one, not a good look, and two, it just can't happen.